Hi with Carl and Kazra, the famous Kazra Dash. In this video, we're going to do what it takes to make a good website. So by that, we mean, increasing traffic. It could be conversion rate side. It could be anything to do with, how to get that website to function as you want it to and potentially make you money. So Kaz, let's put you on the spot straight away. And I'm going to say, what are the three ways in which you would grow a website in 2024?
So I think that being diverse in your traffic sources is really important. So I think that doing, for example, Facebook ads, doing a lot of podcasts. Obviously, I've done a few podcasts in 2023, and also probably releasing books as well is a really good way of like increasing website traffic. Now, once obviously you have that website traffic, whether it is through Facebook ads or podcasts or whatever, you obviously want to make certain that you are converting that traffic as well. So making certain that, for example, if you're an e-commerce brand, it is a frictionless way of essentially going through the checkout. There isn't any hidden checkout buttons or any hidden buy buttons and stuff like that. So I feel like the trust signals need to be really on point as well when you are trying to grow your brand as well.
Is there anyone that you would recommend for doing that, like trust signals and things like that, or like
I would probably
conversion
say,
side?
yeah, so for a conversion rate optimization agency, I would probably say Convertica.org, I believe. They have helped numerous, I want to say six and also seven figure brands as well in e-commerce when it comes to CRO and improving their CRO. So how they essentially work is they have got a lot of data sets and data points from previous brands and websites that they have worked with, and they will essentially run your website through all of their checks to see what you're actually lacking when it comes to like converting your actual traffic. So again, like one thing that a lot of people always focus on is how much more traffic can I get to the website, but necessarily the amount of traffic can also be a vanity metric. So you also want to focus on actually converting those people into customers, or if you're an affiliate website, or if you're just a local business, maybe let's say you're a lawyer and you want more law clients, you essentially need all of those conversion um, rate optimization checkboxes checked off for your website.
That's
So
quite good that you've said that. It's a vanity metric. That's quite cool. So yeah, search volume is a vanity metric. How many visitors you've had to your site? It's almost like it's like how big's your, well, you know what?
yeah,
Well,
so like I'll give you an example. We recently invested in a company, and their website was getting 1,000 hits a day, and out of the 1,000, there was probably about 650, 700 of those hits was coming from like this unrelated blog article, right? So on the grand scheme of things, you'd be like, oh my God, this is an amazing website. But that blog article actually had nothing to do with what they actually sold. So it was a manufacturing company. This blog article was talking about staging equipment, and it was more so to do with staging equipment for X Factor, right? So, like, what stages did X Factor use? However, they were a staging manufacturing company. So, people that were searching this keyword and looking at this blog article, they were just looking at the information and then just bouncing off the website. So, there wasn't actually any way of converting those into actual customers for the actual manufacturing company.
would you say that had a detrimental effect on the website's rankings as well?
So one thing that obviously Google has spoke about in the past, again, this is more so going down the SEO
Oh,
strategy route. So if you do have a lot of traffic going through to a page that is unrelated to your main core entity or your main core topic, let's say for example you're a law firm in London and all of your clicks is to do with pink fluffy toys, right? If you are getting a lot of traffic for the pink fluffy toys, Google will look at your website and say, this website has a lot more authority to do with pink fluffy toys. So you always need to bear that in mind as well.
So one of the things I'm very much an advocate for, and you've kind of touched on it a little bit, and I know your background's in there a little bit as well, and you know my background, paid ads. So, you've got a website, you've literally set it up, you've maybe paid a couple of $1,000. You could have paid a lot more than that. The prices are it's a huge range. You now need to test it, right? Which is essentially what you're saying for the conversion rate stuff. Now, the problem with SEO is being one of the funnels, or well, so yeah, SEO one of the funnels. It can take quite a long time for that website to materialize visits or
Yeah.
visitors, right? So to get the data back quick, it's quite hard, right? Whereas if you went down the paid ads route, you can probably spend a small budget of your money that you've set aside for this project and test to see whether or not those pages convert. Is that something that you've kind of done in the past, like as a background?
Yeah, so one thing that I would always say that is super important is split testing your landing pages. Like, for example, certain colors on landing pages can affect the conversion rate. Certain words can obviously affect the conversion rate. And then also making certain that the offer that you're applying to the customer actually applies to that person. So, for example, an offer for a local business might be completely different to an offer that is for a big affiliate website that has maybe 7,000 traffic coming in every single month. So just making certain that you're actually talking in the actual words of the business owner is probably really important. So like I'll give you an example. If I was to see an ad as a local business owner and it said get more clients for your local business, that would heavily apply to me. But somebody that has maybe 200 websites and they're an affiliate business, that probably wouldn't apply to them. So the offer for that guy might be gain 20% more traffic across your entire network of websites, and they're more likely to essentially go down your
Mm.
funnel in that case. So I think that that's really important. And again, something that you just touched upon when it comes to PPC is also running Facebook retargeting ads as well. So they always say that retargeting ads are like your most highest converted customers going back through to your website. So, if for anybody that doesn't know what a retargeting ad is, I'm sure you probably would have seen it. Is say, for example, you go on a big shop like ASOS in the UK or Walmart in America, and let's say you look at a desk or I don't know a hoodie, and you don't buy. The next time you probably load up Facebook or Twitter, you're going to see a retargeting ad that's essentially kind of like a reminder for you to go back and purchase that product. They always say that, for example, your customers might actually land on your website, whether it is through PPC or SEO. However, they might have been at work, for example, they might be on their lunch break, very quickly looking at their phone, and they might not actually purchase it. But then, if you have retargeting ads set up on Facebook, they will see that hoodie or that table that they were viewing on their lunch break, and they will end up buying at some point. So that's the essential goal of retargeting ads. It's essentially bringing them back onto the website.
So basically, very low cost for the user to kind of have a second chance at getting them to
Exactly,
convert.
exactly that.
That's awesome. So what would you say is like a third? So you've done diversity in traffic, you've
Yep.
done conversion rate optimization. What would you say your third tip? So if I
Um,
come to Azra to grow the website to maximum I can, I've got a £300 budget because I'm cheap. 2024, come on.
so I would probably say that actually, do you know what? I'll give you two strategies, right? So I would probably go on podcasts because there's no actual fee involved. It's just your own time. So again, depending on how much your hourly rate is. So you could go on podcasts. And then the second one is if you are a local business, let's say Carl's a local plumber in Newcastle, what I would probably do is if they have a well optimized SEO website already, I would go down the route of local SEO. So I believe that the local SEO packages on Searcheroo start at $300-400. So I would probably just go down the citations, building. I think we also do like one guest post as well. So for a lot of local businesses, that strategy is probably going to be enough to get you kick started for some of your keywords, and then after that, you can essentially build upon that. Whether it is going down the link building route, off-page SEO route. And yeah, I just feel like there's not really much of a quick win anymore. I remember, like, for example, you've told me stories 10, 15 years ago where you could very easily rank for $25, $30. And sadly, that isn't the case anymore. So, yeah. What about yourself? What would you recommend?
So I would say, obviously, traffic elements. You've got, you've already stumbled on what podcasts, Facebook ads, Facebook retargeting. There's also, there's influencer marketing. Now, again, you've kind of stumbled in with the podcast. You can make yourself the influencer and start building up your own audience, and then reach out to, almost like a leveling up system. So reach out to similar lower level influencers who might only have a few hundred visitors on their channel. Reach out to them, hop on a little podcast together. All of a sudden, it steps up your visitors because you're experiencing them, but at the same time, they're getting some more knowledge and exposure, and then just kind of tear it up. And that's how I would probably approach an influencer model, because let's face it, there's not many people who, I know a lot of your videos now, Kaz, are getting, a few thousand clicks, a few thousand views and things. But when you first started, there's probably not that many who go, I want to watch Kazra. They don't know who you are. So it's kind of get that repetition and consistency. So 3 ways you're going to build your website and make it grow is pick some avenues for traffic, kind of similar to yours, but I would say paid ads is a must. Have a test budget for it. I'm obviously a very big advocate for SEO, but let's delve into some other areas you could do as well. You could do TV advertising. I've experienced this before. The hardest element with TV advertising is tracking. It is very hard to track what is coming in from TV. So a lot of times when you see ads and they have /TV ad 1 or / and that's just trying to get you to land on that page so they know it's come from the TV ad. But what you can do is, if you have analytics set up, you can actually keep an eye on, usually with TV ads, it's a schedule. So it's running for 3 hours on a Sunday from 9 till 12. You can check your website to see what the average is throughout the week. And then if on those hours between 9 and 12, you're seeing a spike, you can attribute that spike to the TV ad, right? And then usually what starts to happen is you start to see a bit of a leveling up with the TV ad. So like it might run on a Monday, Wednesday, and a Friday, let's say. And actually throughout the weeks, it's almost like your branded traffic is starting to grow because of the back of that. Not necessarily the page traffic. Now, a lot of people aren't that clued on that, I've got a 30-second commercial here. I'm going to quickly write down this big URL that's like that.
Like Rain Man.
Exactly. So they'll be typing in your brand, and hopefully, you're controlling that branded SERP, which is where the paid ads would come in as well. You're often getting people being lazy and just clicking on the branded paid advert. Then, you've stumbled on like audiobooks and books, fantastic way of doing it. But another way could be courses as well. So if it's a service offering where, people are looking for it as a service, sometimes people think it's cheaper to do it yourself. But the problem you've got is yes, it's always cheaper to do it yourself. Courses, I'm going to agree with you 1,000%. However, you haven't got all of the experience of failures that person doing the course probably has.
Yeah.
Therefore, it might be, actually, you know what? I'm going to turn it ahead. It is not going to be cheaper to do it yourself when you factor in the amount of times you're going to fail.
Yeah.
So you're trying to like hack that time, right? It's all about hacking that time back. And if you can learn from someone like yourself, me, Dooley, or, Matt Diggity, like there's plenty of people out there who are offering pretty good knowledge. Again, there's plenty of ways to get there. There's a lot of roads that, all roads lead to Rome. But I think my third point on it, and we stumbled on it in a previous podcast, would be consistency. And it's kind of, I think you mentioned it as well with your YouTube. It's that being consistent and publishing the video and almost having a consistent schedule, like you say, at this time, this is what I'm doing. And it's the same for any marketing method you choose to do, be it content blogging, be it Facebook ads or Facebook messaging, influencer groups, going into different Facebook ad groups, Pinterest, any type
Yeah.
of method focusing on consistency.
Do you know what? One thing that I'm going to touch on is I feel like, or two things that I'm actually going to say is I feel like a lot of people, first of all, think that I'm going to do this LinkedIn post and I'm going to get 6,000 customers tomorrow and I'm going to be on the beach by Wednesday, happy days, right? And it's not the case. Rome wasn't built in a day,
Because with
but
it, Sam on Facebook just did that. I've watched him.
it's probably a rented Lamborghini he's in. It's probably rented. But no, in all seriousness, no matter what traffic source that you go down, whether it is LinkedIn posts, Facebook ads, or posting in groups, I feel like the consistency part, and even like when it comes to YouTube videos, consistency is key. So don't just do one video and then leave it for 6 months and do another video. Find out where you are currently making your most money and double and triple and quadruple down on that route. And then second of all, I see this a lot, is that people advertise to other people that are in the exact same industry, right? So, say for example, if you're a dentist, the last thing you want to be doing is advertising to a load of other dentists,
Goodness.
because realistically speaking, a dentist isn't going to go to another dentist, especially if they'll have their own dentistry firm or whatever else. So try and find a group to do with, I don't know, bad teeth cavities and stuff like that, and then advertise your services in there.
Fizzy
It's
pop.
all,
People who love fizzy pop, Monster.
yeah,
It might hurt the teeth, you see.
exactly that. Again, like you've probably seen it as well in the SEO space. People advertise to other SEOs, and it's like, well, if I'm already doing my own SEO and I've got my own link building agency and my own SEO agency, I'm not going to go to Karl for SEO, for example. So I feel like you always need to jump out of your own realm and go into other spaces that you feel like they're essentially shouldering industries, and go and advertise in those.
No, that's brilliant. So it became more 5 ways to grow your website then, hasn't it, really? Let's say 4. So it
Yeah.
was diversity of traffic, focus on your conversion rate. It was consistency. I can't remember what I came up
Consistency, so
with.
Facebook ads and also courses as well,
In
and
course,
also
yeah.
just building out a personal brand. I feel is just key, because
Mm.
obviously you mentioned it with the podcast, the courses, again speaking as well. We've not even dived into speaking, but if there are, for example, any dentistry gigs or any law speaking circuits that you can go into, that's another really good way of building out an audience for your brand.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Well, I think that's a wrap for what it takes to grow a website in 2024, and what strategies you could do. I'd like to thank Kaz for logging on, speaking to us.
Thanks for having me on.
Speak soon. Take care.